This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
And we're back. It's Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies. I'm Cody, and with me are Kyle and Ken.
Hello.
K2.
Happy Friday.
K squared.
Happy early Halloween, everyone.
Ooh, spooky. Happy Halloween. I'm full of it today.
We can tell.
I'm full of it. I don't have a lot to talk about in the podcast, but I'm sure full of it.
This is a good sign. Glad people are going to be listening to this episode.
Yeah. Fire and brimstone, bringing it on.
Cody's calling it in today, folks.
Yeah.
It's the end of the month.
It is the end of the month.
Okay, then it's November, and it's like, oh God, it's November now.
We're starting it all over again.
We're still in pandemic mode in November. I did not see this coming.
No, none of us did,
No.
and yet here we are. But we're
Here
still
we are.
kicking it.
We're still trying.
We should be proud about
We're
that.
surviving. We've not got the Rona yet, so we're good.
I've been impressed with all of us.
I know.
We're pretty safe.
I thought last week I might have gotten it, but it just ended up being a cold. So
Cold. We got tested.
Yeah.
We got checked.
we did get checked. I got my negative test
You
back.
did the whole thing.
Oh.
It's a swab in the nose, right?
Oh, and it's
Isn't that what
awful.
No, a swab you think of as a Q-tip. This was a
Like-
broomstick handle.
It is
This
like
will only hurt a bit.
it looks like a pokey mace going into your
Okay.
nostrils, and they go up like by your eyeball.
They do go that far
They
up.
go so far back, and it's just eyes
I
watering.
felt
You're
it.
like,
I felt it in my childhood. That's
Yeah.
how deep. That's how deep it went.
and you like choke because your like body doesn't know what to do. It's just
Sure.
like, get this out.
I'm telling the nurse about things that happened to me at summer camp.
You shared some secrets that day.
It got deep.
Got deep.
Well,
Yeah.
glad they came out negative. The pain was worth it then. That
I
broomstick
guess.
up the nose.
The broomstick
I
up the
guess.
nose.
I don't know. It's. I don't know if I wanted it to be positive. I don't know what I wanted.
You're like,
Yeah.
there better be something out of
just
this.
tell me, tell me that it's going to be fine.
I didn't want to get quarantined, but I'm like at the point where I'm like, I want to get in, get over it. So just so I could say like, I've moved on.
The
But
girl who lived.
yeah. Yeah. But then I don't want to get it because
Sorry, I just started
I don't wanna
reading
go through that.
Harry Potter with our boys, so now I'm going to be doing lots of Harry Potter references during
Is
this
it,
episode.
is it their first time?
It's
Yep.
the very first time.
Oh, that's
we have-
awesome.
we have the movies obviously ready to go, but
Yeah.
as a reward for the 5 and 7-year-old finishing each book, we'll watch the movie at the end. And
No, that's
Yeah.
a good call.
we
give
read a chapter or a few pages.
chapter night,
Yeah.
and
Oh, it's
I
the bedtime story.
I
Gotcha.
forgot how slow it is. 'Cause, like, the movie is 2 hours. And
Yeah.
yes, when I was young, when I was like 12, I was like tearing through these books. And it
Yeah.
would take you like 3 or 4 days to get through 600 pages. But it is slow going.
Just wait until you get into the thicker books.
I know,
like
these
4
are the
and
little
5, and
books.
then
I
you're going to
know,
be like,
I know.
oh my
I'm
God.
I'm reading 20 pages of this. I'm like, yeah, this is 30 seconds of my life that I remember. I can recall all this. Like, I get reading, but it's like, I don't need all these
I
details.
get reading.
Let's get through this.
And if you're doing it a chapter a night, your boys are going to be off to college by then.
yeah,
So
I know. This is why we work in the movie
Well,
business.
this is
so I
why we
don't have
started
to-
them young.
You'll skip over a few books. We'll have them watch a few movies.
I got so excited about the chapter, but the chapter in my mind is 45 seconds from the movie.
Yeah.
It's beyond. The movies were so well done that it kind of, in my mind at least, eclipsed the books because it
Yeah.
was concise. It took care of everything you needed to take care of. It eliminated
You
some
got
stuff
the
you didn't.
details you needed
Yeah.
if you hadn't read the books.
One of the few times the movie was better than the book. As Cody cringes over there. Oh God,
No,
no.
I actually think a lot of the times the movie is better than book because it does things like
For Harry Potter or in
condenses.
general?
Just in general. Usually I think the movie is better only because it condenses.
And then we can book it and play it, and theaters
Yeah.
can make money off of
But
it.
sometimes
Yeah.
if you condense like a story into a movie, sometimes it leaves out like important details that you can't get out of a book though.
You
Oh
mean
yeah,
that-
no,
it-
I think it's a richer story from a book,
Sure.
but I think I just prefer
Like absorbing it in. You'd
Yeah.
rather do a movie than
I mean, you don't not get the story from the movie, so
It
it's the
definitely
same
brings
thing.
it to the masses in a more digestible format.
Yeah.
At least more people get to experience what you experienced.
I
Part
mean,
of what you
that's not
experienced reading.
always the case. There are a few times where the books are better, just because you need that extra. And the movie was done so poorly, so rushed.
Like the 10 Commandments. God bless.
depends on who you talk to, I suppose.
Yeah. I know. An example is escaping me at the moment, but
Kyle, should we wait?
maybe 50 Shades of Grey.
No,
There we go.
Okay, I'm glad we waited for that.
Yeah,
I'm glad
that
we waited
book.
for that.
So good. Just kidding.
Just
the
imagine
movie
if
was
you're
way better.
Just imagine if you're a fan of that source material and you're like, yeah, the movie was okay, but you definitely need to read the books. That definitely delves into a lot more, so that
Oh.
you'll understand the story
Those
better.
books are
The story's a
torture.
lot richer and deeper and
So
fulfilling.
So well written.
Oh, and on that note, what do we got going on this week? What happened?
Okay, so there were some upcoming release schedule changes. The Paramount title Rumble moved from January to May next year. Respect moved from January to August of next year, and Tomb Raider 2 just moved off the schedule. So
Well, there was not much happening with that production anyway.
No.
They're probably just going to wait and see if anything can happen.
right.
Tomb Raider 2 is now Uncharted.
Oh.
Why
So
don't they
also-
just wrap production
Sony's,
on that?
yeah,
I know.
Sony's getting hyped for that because it's finally happening. Like they actually filmed something after years of development hell.
I got an update from SilverScreenInsider.com that Uncharted is.
I saw that too on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's where I got mine.
It's
Yeah.
a pretty good resource.
Yeah.
I'd recommend checking out their social media channels.
Well, it's good. It's always good to know kind of what's coming down the pipeline. You know, like what's there on the horizon.
Yeah.
That, yes, indeed, Hollywood is still making movies, and that is a positive.
And you also just see, feedback, whether it's, trolls or whether it's genuine people
Yeah.
like wanting to see something. You'll get a grasp on like what could be good to play and what's not.
Some semblance of normality, like thinking about, oh yeah, this movie's being made, and away
Yeah.
from this production shut down, this film is delayed.
Right.
This, it's like, oh yeah, there's a movie with Mark Wahlberg in it. Awesome.
Remember those? Remember those people?
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
How far away are you from that?
No, he's in Uncharted.
Oh, I thought he was supposed to be the main guy.
He
and then-
was 20 years ago, and now
Yeah.
he's going to be the adult figure.
The adult
or
figure,
the
okay.
father or grandfather figure.
Yeah, and Tom Holland's
I was gonna say
the
it's Tom
main
Holland,
character.
Ken.
How far are you away from this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's my
Come
finger.
on,
There's
catch
my
up
finger
with the drama.
on the pulse, Cody.
Well, I stand corrected, Ken.
Boom, got her.
Boom roasted. Oh, okay, giggles. What else is going on?
So just some upcoming booking strategies. I spent like all last week putting in every single available holiday film that I could think of that was from a studio that would actually book it in a DCP, because we don't always want to be playing DVDs. And, just getting it on booking sheets for everybody to see what was out there. And then I spent this week rearranging it, adding stuff, because apparently I got an email from Netflix saying that they had like 4 titles coming up in the month of November. So I'm like,
With theatrical windows.
with theatrical windows. So I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm going to add all these in because they all looked really decent.
And I don't think we've ever got turned down for a Netflix date before. If we've
Not
requested,
really,
we've
yeah.
gotten it. Maybe delayed by a week, but we've always gotten the date.
Right. So I gave Netflix a lot of dates. I rearranged my crazy schedule. I loaded her up. And then I came to find out that no, Netflix was not taking as many dates as I had originally thought. And
Netflix stands for print counts, just like
Yeah.
everybody else.
print counts.
Womp
So just so if anybody's thinking about it, Jingle Jangle, I think they're going like maybe 25.
We were told 25
Runs.
locations nationwide.
Yeah. So
Which,
and
if you're listening to our podcast, it does not include you.
yeah.
I was gonna say maybe if you're a lucky one of the 25.
Well, and if you hear something different, definitely let me know. But let Silver Screen Insider know, because I was really disappointed to hear that on something that was so
A
family
movie,
Christmas
PG,
movie. Yeah.
At the holidays when we've got War with Grandpa and Croods. And that's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
Wasn't Wolf of Snow Hollow 100 prints?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought 100 was crazy. 25.
Like, you're not showing that movie to anyone.
I know.
That makes no sense.
As film buyers, we count down.
No,
From 4,500 all the way down to 900, I think, is one of the lowest we've ever seen. I don't know if I can count down to 25.
So they are going wider on Hillbilly Elegy. And I think that's because it's very Oscar worthy. It's got Ron Howard directs it. It's based off a very popular book. It's a drama. It's got Glenn Close and
I think Amy Adams is in there. Yeah.
And it just, that one looks great.
Yeah,
great drama.
it does.
So they are taking more dates of that. And I did get that in a few locations.
And they're honoring a window.
I mean, not as many
even
as
though
I
it's-
wished, but
Yeah.
I'm happy to have gotten something with that one.
So that one, they're going somewhat wide, but not jangle.
But not Jingle Jangle. And then
Weird.
I didn't request Mank anywhere. I think it's too upscale for my locations.
Yeah.
So I can't speak to that one, and I haven't gone to Christmas Chronicles 2. There was some talk that might be available theatrically. I also didn't request that one anywhere. My theory on it was that I felt it was purely a Netflix film, that it has always been known as Netflix, and that I don't think you could pass it off as this belongs in theaters and then on Netflix. So I don't know if the small window would have been as worth it.
Yeah, the first movie's success was, I think, purely based on the fact that it's a weird Christmas movie only on Netflix.
Right.
As soon as you hit
Yeah.
the Netflix button, it pops up and starts playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even have to click the button. If it's like on the home page, it just plays.
Yep. So I didn't request any of that, so I also can't speak to the availability of that one either.
Yep. But we'll see where things leave us. It may
Let
be,
us know on Silver Screen Insider
Yeah.
about, if you've had any success with it, because while I didn't listen in on the NATO call, I have been told that there was NATO did say that the streamers were going to start reaching out and doing some theatrical, but I don't think it's as widespread as maybe what people were led to believe in that call.
Are they trying to still do the thing where it's like that 2-week eligibility window and then it goes on to streaming, or are they trying to at least
No, it's
get a
definitely
few
was
more
less than a
places?
week. It was
For
like
the
it
Oscar
was 7-day
stuff,
window.
For Hillbilly
Yeah.
and for Mank, it was literally like 13.999 days.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's just to
Not even that
clip-
14th
It's just
day,
gonna
huh?
touch like 14, just like graze up against it.
Yeah.
But for the other stuff, it's
It
a
was
week,
7
6
days.
days,
Yeah.
4 days. But it's something for theaters, and it's not nothing. I mean, we've played
Right.
worse movies than these.
Definitely, but I don't think
Yeah.
the availability is as widespread
Correct,
as what was
yeah.
led to believe. So
So you just better
I just want to
hope.
give everybody a warning on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you run across something or you find some success, definitely let us know, because
We're
I
all in
think
this together
We're in
right
this
now.
together, and it would be good to leverage the numbers.
Yeah, as much as we seem like we're all knowing, as I try to say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
We appreciate any sort of feedback, any sort of knowledge that
Yeah.
you guys might have, and of course we'll be checking with studios here and there even still, but for the most part, like, we're all in this together, and help me help you.
Yes.
If we can build one of these opening weekends that looks somewhat like a normal opening weekend. If we can have a movie that opens to 20 and number 2 is 10 and number 3 is 8, then film companies will jump back in with stuff.
Right.
If once we can build one of these weekends for them to show them, and then the second weekend after that looks better, we just have to start building something.
Right.
And it's
Hopefully
independent
that
theaters that are
might
going to do
happen at Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Maybe at
absolutely.
Christmas, but I don't know. And then we don't know how things are going to stick on the release schedule. We still don't have any more insight into that. We don't know if Wonder Woman's going to stay at Christmas.
It's going to stay.
It's going to stay because we're going to will it to stay, because you know why I don't think I got coronavirus last week? Because it snowed over the weekend, and that's probably why I didn't get it.
Did you happen to be out in the snow at any point? Did you roll around in the snow or shovel snow or make a snowman?
I feel like this is leading to something else I shouldn't be a
'cause
part
I wasn't
of.
feeling well because my body was battling it off, and the snow was helping create a protective fortress for me.
I'm sure whenever Ken opened the window to your guys' house or opened the door to your guys' house, the cold air went to Cody and then it
Yeah.
fought it off.
Yeah.
A single flake.
A single
flew in.
flake.
And that's all you
Like
need.
Miracle on 34th Street, like
Yeah.
a single flake. Oh, all right. Well, the next news article is about Cody's favorite person,
Yeah.
Jordan Pele.
My number one enemy, Jordan Pele, is apparently
I've heard
gonna
he doesn't
ruin...
like you very much either.
I know. He doesn't.
He canceled his subscription to the
can't-
podcast.
That's fine. That's fine. He also just tried to backstab our whole industry. So I don't know why they keep giving him movies to ruin. But apparently he's going to ruin the beloved classic People Under the Stairs
Is
next.
it a beloved classic?
It's
used
beloved to
be.
some people.
It used to be.
So
Now it's
he's
just garbage.
but he's producing it though, right?
I don't know what he's doing with it. He's attached somehow.
I mean, as a producer, you never know. They could do so many
I don't
things,
know
or they could just have their name.
Why,
on it.
if he thinks that it's too dangerous to go to movies with during coronavirus, he should be even making any right now.
Oh, you know, I bet you he's wanting it to
He
go to
obviously
streaming.
doesn't want
He'd
theaters.
love it in his own home.
Yeah. He doesn't want theaters to have it, so he's no friend of ours.
But I love your work. I appreciate what you do.
I thought streaming was so that he could be creative and have original content that you wouldn't get in the theater. Why do you have to remake anything?
But he's
Doesn't
producing
Jordan
a
Peele
remake.
have any ideas of his own?
He only had Us and Get Out, and he peaked.
And then he peaked. That's it.
You peaked in high school, Jordan Peele.
Use theaters.
And he's taking it out on the theaters.
Welcome to the rest of your life.
Yeah. Now you're riding the streaming train.
Either way, he's gonna get that.
You're gonna end
money.
up under the stairs.
Go cry.
under your stairs, Cody.
No, not
You gonna
mine.
kidnap him?
No. Just
Go
with
cry on Hulu's
unoriginal ideas. It's gonna be in the poorhouse. Then it's not gonna work.
Does this even need to be remade? I mean, that's probably a dumb question because everything gets remade. But
I know. I was like, oh yeah, that is a movie.
I remember this as one of the first
beloved classic.
Yeah.
first movies that I saw that had like a twist on. You thought the people under the stairs were bad, but turns out they were the ones being kidnapped, and then the whole thing. But it was one of the first horror movies I saw that actually had a real storyline, other than the idea like bad person kills people in the camp,
And it's awesome.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the end, beginning and end. This one had like that a twist, I guess you consider it a twist to the storytelling. So it is one of those classics of horror where people reference it for that
Sure.
idea. But Jordan Peele's making it, so it'll probably be about race and politics and
Well, like you said, it was one of the few stories you've heard that has actual story to it,
yeah.
and not just scary movie.
Well, not anymore.
Now he's gonna ruin it.
Now he's gonna ruin it.
Are you guys ready for a
Streaming.
scary story on Halloween?
Yeah.
There once was an industry that was thriving. Grosses films as far as the eye can see.
$1 billion.
And then a pandemic came to town.
Oh no!
Closed all of the theaters.
Oh no!
Oh no.
But then they were going to reopen, rebuild, better, stronger.
You can't kill this industry.
And there was no time to die. And it and James Bond was going to save us all. And then the streamers came for it.
Ken, I'm scared.
There's a story this week that they were shopping the rights to James Bond's No Time to Die and had an astronomical asking price on it.
600 million from some reports.
Chump change, right?
Chump change.
Yeah.
Well, the Bond franchise, film after film, is worth in the neighborhood of $1 billion per film. That's how much they gross at the box
Right.
office. There's promotional deals. There's all sorts of things tied into these, whether it's Jaguar or Aston Martin. There's all sorts of merchandising involved with it.
Licensing
for everything.
Yeah.
And so the number was set at 600 million, and apparently the big streamers balked at it, which is great for the theaters. That means it's
Right.
going to stick around. They've set a number, and it's going to hopefully be there for us in the spring. Right now it's set for April,
Yeah.
which is where it was 2020.
Yes, that's where it was in 2020.
But we're looking forward There's no reason to look back because we can't change any of
No.
that. But
Yeah.
James Bond is right now there in April 2021. It's going to be promoted like crazy, obviously, because they have this
Right.
big number they needed to put up. And it's going to be there to bring in our spring season and start summer.
Yeah, they know the money is in theaters, and that's why they had that asking price, like between, what they can make in revenue there and all the endorsement deals and
Even-
licensing.
Do you think a streamer would have paid $300 million for it? I mean, what is the number that they can pay? Like,
These reported numbers keep going up and up and
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, Irishman was a $250 million movie. Was
And,
that what it read? It was
and they
over
did that
200?
just because of Scorsese.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
was
don't
just
even think De Niro
Scorsese.
was attached
Yeah.
at the time.
I don't think anybody was attached. I don't think they had any idea of what it was going to be. I mean, there was a book, but that's it.
Yeah.
Who knows what Scorsese is going to do to a book?
well, so if Irishman was worth to Netflix 250, I think that I don't want to go to streaming, but I can't believe they would balk at a 600 for a known property. I guess they could get 3 Scorsese films for that.
It was
or 2.
surprising. Like we see, Apple drop so much money for Greyhound, and like you said here, Irishman, Netflix bought so much money, but even they were like, nope, we're not paying that much for this movie.
Netflix has paid Adam Sandler like $500 million.
Yeah,
Just him.
that's half of their
Adam
library.
Sandler. Here you go.
And he cranks what 2, 3 a year.
Yeah, like 3
Well,
movies a year.
how could we live without Hoobie Halloween or whatever that is?
But guys, we have to have more Adam Sandler.
do we?
Do we?
So yeah, I mean, I guess it was weird, but who cares? It's still going to theaters as of
I'm
now.
just
So
glad.
let's just whew.
Yeah, let's just
Breathe
breathe
out. We're
breathe a sigh
okay.
of relief there.
Like any good scary story, it has a happy ending.
Yeah. Maybe. It hasn't ended yet.
Or is it?
It-
That door creaks open just a little bit.
Streamers are like clawing out of the grave.
Bloody question mark.
Or I guess
Credits roll.
it would be more like, or is it? And then the Netflix, boom.
Bum, bum.
See, Jordan Peele, I can make movies too.
Yeah.
Ken just pitched us a script.
That was original.
Yeah.
2 seconds. How hard is it, Jordan Peele?
Just
Come
contact
on.
me, Ken's awesome scripts at gmail.com.
Love it. Love it.
I also have a Kickstarter.
What else do we got here?
We got the Comeback Trail. Finally got to see a screener of that.
Oh, that's right.
It was supposed to come out in early December, and now it's going to come out later.
This will come out
No,
11/13.
Oh, 11/13, that's right.
And then
Yeah,
we got a
and
2/4
now it's
date
in
and
December.
then a 2/20 date.
Yeah.
So
12/20?
12/20.
12
Jeez.
12/18. 12/18.
18.
It's in December.
What is
It's
happening?
in December. What is
What's
happening?
It's in December. That's
But-
all we need to know.
We watched the screener here in the office, and I'll let Ken speak to how awesome it was.
So you get the whole story in the trailer. Robert De Niro is a hack producer. He comes upon another production, sees that the star dies, and then the production has insurance on that star's death.
And why
then
would he
gets
be
paid
so
out.
interested in that, Ken?
Because he's a hack producer who has borrowed money from a loan shark played by Morgan Freeman, who just keeps threatening to kill him and giving him multiple ways of how he's going to kill him until he pays him back his money. So the idea of finding a star, making a movie, and then killing that star becomes Robert De Niro's plan to free himself from this loan shark. The aging star being played by Tommy Lee Jones, who is an old cowboy who's retired, who's suicidal, who is looking for death in any way he can find it. So it seems like a match made in Hollywood heaven. Kyle, we saw the screener here in our office, and I thought it was laugh out loud funny. It was like just perfect the way it was. It was a snapshot of a mob movie, of Hollywood, of stardom, aging stardom. It had all the art pieces that you needed to make it an artsy film, but it was just funny.
Yeah, I can attest to them laughing because I had to do some work in my office, so I was
I
kind
had to
of.
work while these two were screwing around.
I know. Well, they got to watch screeners.
That's all I'm hearing right now.
I was working, but I could hear them laughing at the other office whether they were watching it, and so I had to get up occasionally and come watch, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't laughed that hard in a comedy in a good while. I honestly think the last time might have been watching Jojo Rabbit. Like, even though it had like some heavy themes to it, but it was laugh out loud funny. Like, this movie was just legitimately that funny, and I was really surprised. I wasn't really putting too much stock into this movie, but honestly, I would want to check this one out.
So I'm glad I was working, because then I had to go add it to everybody's sheet, because I was kind of like, oh, well, they've moved it like 3 times. I don't know if we're going to have room for it at Christmas. And I'm like, I will make room now. It looks that good.
Yeah.
The trailer is good to great. Like, as far as the trailer looks, and you think maybe this would maybe one of those smaller independent films where the trailer shows all of the good parts, and they're all it's perfect with the trailer because they are funny enough to put in a trailer, but then there's follow-up to those jokes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that
are funnier.
That's not the peak, that's the second highest mountain on this range, and it just keeps building, which is perfect for a trailer when you can actually show off after the fact. Casting's great, directing's great. I think it's a perfect movie for adults. It's rated R because of language, but there's nothing beyond that as far as anything that would make it rated R. It was strong language, but that's what you get when you're working with producers.
Cranky old men.
Alcoholic, suicidal film star, which Tommy Lee Jones may actually be. I'm not sure if I've seen him in anything for a while. It may have actually just filmed him and told him his name was Duke Montana.
After a while, you do kind of wonder, is this the actor or the character? Or maybe both?
Yeah. You expect in these films where they cast older people to play comedians, where they are supposed to be funny characters, that a Zach Braff or what's the other guy?
I couldn't get over Zach Braff's stash.
It was a perfect mustache.
He looked like Ray Romano. Like, it was. If he didn't talk, I would have just thought it was Ray Romano for a second.
I could see that.
Just a quick glance. I was. Yeah.
Oh, Ray Romano's in this. Oh, Zach Braff.
But it's the stash. I don't know what it was. The facial hair.
But they had the young characters in it that you expected to play a straight man role because they have to. But no, everybody in this movie was a comedian. Everybody had
everyone's
their line.
Insane.
Everybody had their moment. Everybody was full on Hollywood. I mean, they had a director who was obviously ignoring that they were trying to kill the star because she was trying to get the sunlight right.
Yeah.
And it was really, really well done. It's worth seeing in the theaters. It's worth putting on your screens if you have room.
I liked how it had a good ending and that worked out. Like, you could see a movie like that being really funny, but being a dark comedy and having
turning real dark real fast if bad decisions are made.
Yeah, but this one kept it light and kind of positive and had a happy ending. And I think that's kind of what sold me most on the film, was that not only was it funny this whole time, but it had a really good ending. And I think people just need that now.
No, I mean, I think on Silver Screen Insider, we need to establish your rules of a film not bombing.
Yeah.
Where you can't kill a child. You can't shoot. You can't kill Santa Claus. We found out you can shoot him in a movie, but you can't kill him.
Hey, don't ruin any upcoming movies.
You can't kill him.
Wow.
You can't kill Santa Claus, and you can't kill a child.
No spoilers.
I mean, maybe in the distance, like the periphery, like Titanic. Like, you can kill them in
maybe you can get away with it.
In a terror scene, or when like buildings are falling, you don't know that children are being killed, but they're obviously being killed.
Right.
So there's in the periphery you can do it, but you can't do it like
as part of the story.
Front and center.
Yeah. No also, arrows through pregnant bellies.
No pregnant women.
Yeah.
Can be harmed in any way.
No animals can be harmed. I think we have a pretty good list going now.
No, well, you can harm animals. There's room for that.
I don't
Lord of the Rings, those tree things, are those animals?
No, those are creatures. Creatures and animals are different.
So confused.
Obviously.
Especially pets. And if an animal is a pet too, it makes it above regular animals. Like, you could probably kill a goat, but if you killed a dog, no, that movie deserves to go down.
It deserves to get attacked on Twitter.
Unless the death is the most majestic, selfless, heroic act where the dog sacrifices himself to save, dare I say, a child.
Oh, you mean like Old Yeller? Oh, wait, no, that's not how that ended.
That's not how that ended.
like Marley and Me? Oh, wait, that's not how that ended.
And he has a funeral fit for a king, then I think it's acceptable.
Sure. All right.
Then it's acceptable. So the rules we just started making, we're already making qualifications to undo those rules.
Yeah.
But if you've got room, it's a great movie that's going to play to adults.
Yeah.
For anybody.
And that's who's really going right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I keep hoping and trying out a family product because you keep thinking that parents are stuck at home with their kids watching the same old cartoons, but you put something out there and some of the older family stuff with older kids is doing well, but none of the young kids animated stuff is doing great. That is just, it's just not picked up. It's not changed. It's just really not doing that spectacular right now.
Yeah, you might have to adjust going from like the family demographic to
like animated
adults.
Stuff has been really hard.
Yeah.
I can say that like Hocus Pocus from Disney did really good compared to I mean Nightmare did okay in some spots, but you know there was definitely a difference in that.
It's not kid stuff yet. You're going to have to rebuild that audience and gain trust from the parents and the grandparents and the aunts and uncles to get these kids back into theaters. And that's where the bread and butter is with the concessions. And so it's going to take time to get them back in.
It is. But right now we do know that millennials, teenagers, and older adults are going consistently, especially if they were consistent moviegoers before pandemic. They have continued to be consistent moviegoers now. I don't think you're getting a lot of new moviegoers in, unfortunately, but that's just not the time now for that. You're just hoping that your core group of people is still supporting you.
Nope, we're gonna just start building the next few weeks into the wide releases of Freaky and Crudes, and then Free Guy and Death on the Nile after that, and then this giant overwhelming crowd will come for News of the World and Monster Hunter and Wonder Woman. It's going to be astonishing how many people come back for the holiday corridor.
People only enjoy Christmas with family so much. You'll see them show up. They'd rather risk COVID than be with family. Not that you'd get it at a theater, but
yeah, no, theaters are actually one of the safest activities to do outside the home right now.
I'd agree with that.
As long as you take your precautions, wear your mask, you are a lot less likely to get the virus in a movie theater than you are at dining or
Wash
a
your
gym.
hands, no making out. Get it done. Get out to the theaters.
I went to the dentist a few days ago. I was more terrified than I was in a theater. I'm gonna be honest. And the dentist I had was double masked. They were doing everything they can.
Got a mask over his eyes.
Yeah,
But he's just so close to your mouth, breathing and your face. I can't help that from the dentist.
And you know, they're chatty all the time, so they're telling me stories. I can't respond to them to begin with, but I'm like, that could be a lot of COVID coming in. There'd be a lot of COVID.
Telling him stories, talking about how he woke up with a fever this morning.
Felt a little sweaty, and I was coughing a bit too hard, but I was fine.
But I made it in.
Lost my sense of taste, but I'm doing okay. How are you?
I thought it was
this morning?
I thought it was a lost of sense of smell.
I think it's both.
Is it both?
It's both.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're coming up with new symptoms. I don't know. We could get anything from this virus.
Yeah.
Is it
maybe
normal?
for one of your eyes, maybe you'll lose one of your eyes. I don't know.
It's normal. I grew 3 inches overnight last night. Is that weird? just all in my torso. It's odd.
3 inches out or 3 inches up?
Shut up. It's a good place to end the podcast.
I was going to say, let's end it there.
so we can talk about this off air.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for indulging and listening to this episode. Feel free to check out many of our other episodes at other podcast platforms and at silverscreeninsider.com. I brought it back.
You did. You got there. You got a lot lost in the weeds, but that's okay.
I got it back. But yeah, also check us out at silverscreeninsider.com, not only for the podcast, but if you're in need of marketing materials or info on upcoming movies, we got you covered. We're pretty sure we have almost every title you can imagine on there that you could play. So
yep.
We've got our finger on the pulse.
Finger on the pulse. Have a good weekend. Have a safe and a happy Halloween. Enjoy trick-or-treating if you're able to do that in your area. If not, we're going to do the Monster Mash at home.
And steal your kids' candy. Best part of having kids on Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like candy corn? Darn. I'll take that.
Oh no, they can have it.
You would hate it. You would hate Snickers bars. Don't even try those.
No.
Reese's
It's got
cups.
nuts in them.
Reese's cups are disgusting.
What?
Don't even try them. That's
Don't-
what you tell your
that's
kids.
what you
Kyle.
tell-
Oh, okay.
They're
Wow,
just-
you
they're
fooled me.
horrifying. Yeah,
I would have been like,
you
then
gotta-
take them.
You gotta sell it.
You
Yeah.
gotta sell it. You gotta be
You're
honest
good.
about it.
You're
Thank
good.
you.
You just gotta give them Smarties.
Ken's Great Scripts at gmail.com.
All right. See you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.